Danganronpa sure is a video game franchise.
What? Yeah! Yeah! What? What was that? Sorry. I tried to scare you, but then your reaction scared me.
What an idea. Why didn't I think of that?
Where the games are hybrid visual novels, you know. Half of the game has you wandering around a locked area, trying to figure out a mystery, and not fight with other fellow students because they think the Garden of Banban 1 is better than the Garden of Banban 2! And the other half of the game is just...
In the result.
Wow! And all I've done is press the A button!
Done it? Then I'll...
Yes, it's a lot of reading! And the genre has its own variations in gameplay. Some games have you using a phone to change the routes at certain points, some have you clicking on everything to find objects to present in court later, and some have you solving puzzles while a girl excitedly talks to you about how the Titanic could fly in space. We all have been there. But that is the genre in a nutshell. It's a novel that has visuals, music, dialogue, with some gameplay sprinkled in to break up you mashing A to advance the text. And some people would call you weird for liking these games, because there's not much actual gameplay. Weirdo, nerd, where's the gameplay, dingus? So naturally, I love this genre, and I want it to grow to new heights. The stories they tell are always fascinating because they are the focus of the game. Bro, you're not going to enjoy pressing A when the story is a snooze fest. Then you have the voice acting, music, the art style. It just helps you read books like this that are now more enjoyable, as opposed to actual books. Bro, it's just a box, put your hand in it already! And that is why I appreciate and love when a franchise takes risks and breaks that genre to try something new. Something different in the worlds they created to get new fans to try out the series. You know, for many years Ubisoft games have become stale and repetitive in their open world design. You complete a checklist, unlock the towers, but then out of nowhere, they release a small-scale side-scrolling Prince of Persia game. A risk in an industry that wants every game to be Game of Thrones. Or how the Persona games, for their extremely long JRPGs, which might be a time sink. Oh, let's do a dungeon crawler. Or how about a fighting game? Or even dancing rhythm game. I love these so much. Or even games like League of Legends, which got new fans with their many attempts at other game genres like rhythm games, turn-based RPGs, side-scrollers, to then music brain rot, why is this so good, to then one of the best animated TV shows ever created. Yes, Riot Games helped do all that. And then some.
Riot?
So then you have the Danganronpa games, visual novels about high schoolers murdering each other while saying things like this.
Huh? Did he really just say that?
I know a lot of people ain't gonna enjoy pressing A to get to that scene, but they made an action-adventure spin-off game where you explore the world the series created, now with multiple enemies you have to destroy, boss battles, shooting and close combat gameplay, solving puzzles, and at the same time, still keeping those extremely long dialogue cutscenes where the characters will say,
Look, Toko holograms!
Jeez, you're awfully excited. Calm down, woman.
and that is what Danganronpa Ultra Despair Girls is all about, and why I appreciate it so much. Well, not that much, because despite how good this game sounds on paper, it does some not so good things.
Stop! What are you doing? What are you doing?
But from a game spin-off standpoint, I love the art direction, taking the world you saw in the first two games. Now, how would it look like in a real city? The enemies, how can they make them multiply and be more scary? Because let's face it, there was nothing that scary about a bear. It just does so many things right, so many creatively cool decisions. I mean, heck, this is probably one of the best voice-acted video games I have ever played.
Toko! Looks like we can go up from here.
Shh! Don't yell, we're gonna get caught.
To then suddenly whiplashing you with a line out of nowhere that has you going.
Whoa, 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 hey!
So yes, it's time to go in depth with Ultra Despair Girls, a game that has so many issues, which made fans so uncomfortable, but it had so many cool ideas. Where you take the worlds created from the visual novels and give them new life. Third-person gunplay, hack and slash combat, a horrific premise, as you follow these two girls into a world with despair. Man, the word despair has lost so much meaning ever since I beat Danganronpa games. But yes, this is a canon game, taking place in between Danganronpa 1 and 2. But it was made afterwards, so it does things to link them up and explain what happened during the time. And at this point of the video, I won't spoil what happens in those games, but do note the game does spoil the first one like halfway through, going, "Oh hey Komaru, here's what happened!" Wait, why are the aliens abducting the burger? But yes, this was made firstly for fans of the franchise before thinking about newcomers. You can still play it without the context, but you probably won't be able to keep a straight face when characters tell you that this is what they call the end of the world.
Biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history.
So to spare a set into the world, something has caused anarchy to spread. As we follow Komaru Naegi, who has been imprisoned in this apartment building for 2 years by some kidnappers, so doesn't really know anything about that, which makes her a good player character for newcomers since the other characters will just have to explain to her what happened. But her whole world is flipped upside down when these robotic Monokuma bears attack! And through escaping, she attains a hacking gun, a megaphone that lets her fight back while escorted by this girl who was from the first game. But yeah, it's kind of crazy to set this game up to star the sister of the first game's main character, as she was only briefly mentioned in DR1. But now this game will flesh a character out, and she is then paired up with this girl, Toko, who to help the combat has a split personality that allows for some hack and slash gameplay. It's honestly a baffling decision on paper as to why these two were paired up. I mean, Toko in the first game comes off as incredibly creepy and off-putting to you, the player, and yet after this game, she just might be one of my favorite characters from Danganronpa. Yes, I'm 100% serious. I can have favorite Danganronpa characters too. Look, we all can't love Scrimbly McBlimbo. But yes, this is all because this game has some of the best and worst writing in the franchise. So Danganronpa was created by Kazutaka Kodaka at Spike Chunsoft, and the game's premise were high schoolers that were trapped and forced to kill each other to escape from this sadistic bear called Monokuma. And if you know anything about trashy killing games, oh lordy, are these popular. Yes, these two games became cult classics, both with different cast members, but some overall connected stories, sort of like Kingdom Hearts, where you can jump into either game, but you will get more enjoyment if you play it in order and hyper-analyze over all the details. Look, the comparison is apt, okay? When Danganronpa has actual canon novels that you should be reading, but they aren't always translated, and the main plot to the games concluded in an anime that replaced half of the English voice actors. I'm still so mad about that! But yes, this spin-off was to explain what happened between the first two games, but now not confined to a killing game visual novel formula, as Spike Chunsoft themselves wanted a spin-off game that was more action-focused, and Kodaka himself always wanted to write a game that had characters running away from despair. And you know, an action game would allow for that? The running. And so in 2013, it was announced on the PlayStation Vita alongside the third game. You know, to not worry fans that the vision of a formula wasn't going away, this was like a bonus side thing. So yeah, that big number 3.
It doesn't matter.
And yes, announcing it on the Vita was a big deal back then, while Sony was slowly killing the console with, oh my god, Japanese devs were pumping games out for it, as a portable console more powerful than Nintendo's offering was just what the Japanese market loved. And Danganronpa was hugely popular over there on the PSP before the Vita ports, remasters. And yes, with those Vita games, that was how the series was brought over to the West. But me? Man, I couldn't justify buying a Vita to play these games! What am I gonna spend $500 to look at this sprite? I just heard it was like Ace Attorney, but I didn't even know if I would like them. So yep, my first foray into the series was watching Let's Plays of the first two games. I specifically remember watching one without commentary, and then I was feeling so scared because I didn't have someone talking over it. I was just hiding in the comments all the scary bits. And man, I was hooked back then. So when a spin-off game was announced, I'm like, okay, you win. And I bought the damn Vita. See, we're just built different. I can see you buying that console for Persona 4 Golden. But this was a system seller for me! But yeah, weirdly cannot find more about the development of this game. Spike Chunsoft wanted it, Kodaka wrote it, stuff happened, boom, game launched. There's no interviews I could find archived, and I'm trying, man, but Google, what the hell is this? I mean, I really am trying, using the Japanese name, searching the Danganronpa's home base, Tumblr, and the best I could find was this, which just reiterates that yes, he wanted to make this game to be for new fans and a different take, and no, it's not going to replace the current visual novel formula. But I mean, where else can I look? I do have the art book, which has interviews with the devs, but
I can't read.
Now, if I had a subscriber for every eccentric creator working at Spike Chunsoft, I would have 2 subscribers. Oh wait, maybe you can help me get more than that. But yes, Kodaka is an interesting guy. Well, growing up he studied filmography, but he wanted to use that knowledge for video games, so his professor helped him get a job working on the cutscenes for Clock Tower 3. Man, what was the economy back then? Your professor just hands out jobs like this? He would then go on to write for the Jake Hunter mobile games in Japan, before being hired by Spike to work on that kid who can't seem to ever finish solving mysteries video games. As yes, Kodaka does a lot of writing in his games, and when he pitched the idea for Danganronpa alongside the series art director Rui Komazuki, they actually had to tone down the game to fit in with the age rating, and I want to reiterate that with this spin-off game, he was actually given more free reign by Spike Chunsoft to do what he wanted, as you'll see. Oh boy, oh no.
Huh?
But a few years later, he actually left Spike alongside Rui and the composer Masafumi Takada, with that guy Uchikoshi from Zero Escape, to create their own studio Tokyo Games, which is now amusing to see that these two now work together. Because, well, both of them are online a lot, but Uchi is more famous in the West for his tweets, but Kodaka usually tweets in Japanese. However, I noticed ever since this move, he now openly wants to learn English to connect with Western fans, and I think it's purely because he envies the insane cult following Uchi has on Twitter in the West. Compared to when you see Kodaka tweet about a game, the comments are just filled with, "Bro, make more Danganronpa."
Poor little guy.
And you think, oh, okay, maybe he just wants to move on from Danganronpa. No. Why would he tag the new free-to-play mobile game from the studio with Danganronpa? I think even he knows where his biggest crowd is. On the other hand, man, why is the music just like Danganronpa again? Anyway, here's him tweeting about the original concept for Monokuma. Let's just say Kodaka is an interesting creator, and it's why his games feel very interesting. Then again, he said one of his favorite games was Gravity Rush 2, and he goes drinking with Yoko Taro, so... But regardless, this game was released, and it did okay. Not the best, I mean, it was their first time making a 3D game. Oh, come on, don't you know what lighting and texturing is? The models still animate well, it just really looks like baby's first Blender model. Hey Komaru!
Hi!
Did you know that I prefer playing Batman Arkham Knight with a keyboard and mouse instead of a controller? It's the ideal way to play it!
Huh?
And yet, it still felt like Danganronpa. But despite that, and having a tease in Danganronpa V3, there's been no follow-up 3D kind of Danganronpa game since then. Wait, so then why was Spike Chunsoft hiring people to work on a 3D assets for a Danganronpa game? Oh, don't tell me that was for the VR game! But yeah, it's kind of telling with this game and its content that after all these years, all the Danganronpa games are available on the Nintendo Switch, except Ultra Despair Girls. And need I remind you what Nintendo allows on that console? Rated T for teen! $4! But just know that the game's plot does connect the two. It does answer questions about them, and it greatly improves on some characters, while also having some of the best friendship growing development character writing I've ever seen. It uses the art style and presentation from the series, now in a bigger expansive world instead of one area. And at the same time, you can easily tell this was their first attempt at a big 3D game, with so many odd things, and despite having some of the best writing the franchise has ever seen, it also has some very uncomfortable things, and it also has an Android smartphone app that would optimize your files for you. It just has the sprites of the characters. Man, these spin-off games are so weird! Also, they collabed with the Sega mobile game Chain Chronicle. Look at them go! Now, the biggest appeal and standout for the game was its different gameplay to the other Danganronpa games. Oh no, you still got 30 minutes of just reading text. Thankfully, most of it is fully voiced, but the main aspect is the combat and exploration. So in the world of Danganronpa, there are these few people who have special talents, like say, this guy is mad good at baseball, he will be called the Ultimate Baseball. Wait. But then there are just average people here like Komaru, or Bill here, who really can't do anything in a situation where the town is overrun with killer robotic bears. But at the start of the game, you're given a megaphone that can shoot electromagnetic bullets to disrupt and destroy the beast. And you got different types of ammo throughout the game to combat new enemy types, but you also have to solve puzzles. So you have Break, the normal bullets, which are limited, but you can shoot it at the bear's glowing red eye for a nice shot insta-kill. And this also boosts up your next bullet to insta-kill the enemy, so you can really optimize your shooting if you land them correctly. It's also why this game is incredibly easy on PC with the mouse aiming. You then got Dance, which will cause the bears to party hard. But if you do it on a Siren Monokuma, its dancing will attract others to it. Kickback pushes them back, and that was the wrong word. It's actually knockback. I just wanted to make more work myself reading more lines of my script. You use it more for the Riot Shield ones. Paralyze will stun other enemies nearby, but it's also very effective in puddles to shock everyone. Burn is fast-paced bullets like a flamethrower. And Link, which actually lets you control the Monokuma, usually to move them over for puzzles. Because yes, you have a lot of puzzles in this game, and the bullets will help with that. As you have these other specific ones like the tech that will find hidden items on the walls, and the move bullet, and both of these have unlimited uses, and move is probably your most used one. You use it on electric cars to move them, turn on power switches, and so on. You can press the numbers on your keyboard to swap between these bullets, or press F to bring up a wheel and click through them. But if you really have a twitchy finger, you can use the mouse scroll wheel. So yeah, you'll move through the area. They're not that narrow. It's like a story game with these levels and sort of big worlds you have to work your way through, defeating Monokumas in between save points, upgrade shops for coins you pick up after defeating them, and solving puzzles along the way. Now, as this was the first time for the devs making this type of game, they didn't want their fans to feel like this new genre was too hard, as most people who play Danganronpa games would only be used to pressing A lot to advance the text. So they added another character, being Genocide Jack. As your partner Toko, her thing is that she has a split personality, where Toko is more of a timid character from the first game, yet her split personality is a serial killer, who kills cute guys with scissors! Oh, thank God, I'm safe then. And so to swap, she uses a stun gun, and the battery shows how long you can use it for, but you will find refills throughout the level. And it's a pretty basic hack and slash. You attack and dodge with scissors using combos. What, you don't normally use scissors to fight? I mean, it was all the rage back in 2013. It is a simple auto lock-on in that you usually will just whip this out when you're surrounded and mash your way to victory. You can also build this fever to get scissors, where you can do special attacks on single or group enemies. These do take a while to perform and don't always insta-kill, but look flashy. You either got Jack slice and dicing, referencing other things, or giving haircuts.
I like your cut, G.
But you don't actually need to use it. You can pretty much get through the game with Kamaru. It was more of a mode of, oh God, I need help, I'm surrounded. And on the easiest mode, you can actually regenerate the battery, meaning there's no point to even wasting bullets. As Jack is insanely fast with movement, where if you alternate with dashing and clicking attack, you can move quicker, which I learned because I had speedrun the game. Oh yeah, that was the thing I did. This game is so fun to speedrun, except for one bit I'll get to later. But it was fun learning this strat since it's a 1 hour game, and no matter what, I couldn't get my time closer to Mr. Portugal here. But yeah, for my time doing that using Jack more than Toko, it's actually pretty amusing as you got these sections to climb up, and with Kamaru, it's pretty slow. But if you're using Jack, there's actually a different animation, and it's much quicker. Also, yeah, the item pickups are random, so you can be full on that item, and still find a pickup for it, even when you're needing more ammo for another bullet. But yeah, don't worry about the shooting combat, because you can get skills to aim better. There's even a lock-on that snaps to the nearest target. But that was sometimes super annoying because, come on, man, I just want to shoot the faraway bear. So with that, yeah, this game, you will see why everyone fears Kamaru.
Along with Toko and everyone here, want
Hey, what's that talking about?
I don't know, but megaphone.
Well, let's start it up on PC, and man, I know I have an SSD card, but it's still crazy to me that this game, you can literally start it up in 15 seconds. But yeah, it's kind of blank at the start. You got a really cool title screen with a graphic visual clutter, but it's either just load or start a new game, and it just jumps right into it. There's no real settings outside the external launcher, and it opens up with an anime cutscene.
According to what I've heard, the world is round. But is that really true? Earth might have the shape of rock candy, like that spiky lump of sugar your grandma would wrap in a tissue.
Bro, how is that relatable? So this is Komaru Naegi, who was kidnapped into this apartment for 2 years with absolutely nothing to do, and she's accepted alive here.
Let me out! Let me out of here! Hey! Let me out! Let me out! Let me out! Let me out! Jeez!
No cheese.
Jeez!
And she insists on how boring and normal she is. Trust me, she won't constantly reference this over the course of the game. But then suddenly, the door bursts open and a Monokuma comes in to kill her. And just to remind you that this is a horror franchise.
No!
Okay.
But Buddy is a robot, and robots are stupid. So we leave and have to escape the chasing bear, as you then get a cutscene, and they, for some reason, swap over to the Japanese sounds on the bear. Look, he's meant to say, I know this is the Japanese audio of the bear laugh. Oh, that's a great sign, man. I can already see you cutting corners on this low-budget spin-off. And this delightfully unlit person is Byakuya Togami, a character from the first game, rich AF, and he's part of the Future Foundation, a group that is trying to fight off these bears, and he got word that you were in this building as you're kind of important, being the sister to the main character from 1. Fukumara was locked away, she doesn't know what happened to her brother and what happened in the first game, and so we shan't as well. But yeah, the game does this swapping of presentation a lot, you know, like in the Yakuza games, you got these hyper detailed cutscenes, then in-engine cutscenes, to then, oh man, why is it a visual novel now? You got anime cutscenes animated by Studio Lurch, who also did the anime, so there's some consistency there. Then you got the in-game cutscenes to then using a different CGI cutscene that uses a different model and have a different lighting engine, hence why the weird shading on the hair. Yeah, Danganronpa was not known for the 3D, but you do got the staple 2D sprites where they talk in full voice cutscenes, and yes, this really does look like a YouTuber's thumbnail. But yeah, the 3D models are not the high point of the game. I mean, come on, it was their first attempt. Cut them some slack.
That black and white bear thing back there, what was that? What's going on?
So you don't even know Monokuma? That kind of ignorance must be nice.
Gee, Komaru, he's only the most popular bear in the world. Well, I mean, however those bears do attack, Byakuya gives us a hacking gun as he fends them off, and out onto the streets we go, where we see the bears killing people with pink blood everywhere. Wait, pink? So they were putting pink dye in the water streams and turning our blood pink! It's a stylistic choice that they say, you know, psycho pop to make it pink and very stylish, but the more obvious answer is to help lower the age rating. But you see inside this diner and it's fine. This is just the start of the outbreak, so not everyone knows what's happening outside.
Bears! Bears everywhere!
Now, please.
Call the military! Call the bears!
Let me out! Some suspicious girl is...
But they break in and start killing people! And I guess to help even lower the age rating even more, and also less work for the developers, the NPCs are color silhouettes, which I don't know, on the one hand it adds to the visual style of the game, but on the other hand, I think this game's horror would have been upped way more if they actually showed real humans. But of course the age rating and so on, you have to know in the main games, all the characters were just 2D sprites just standing there awkwardly.
Just standing there.
So even though those deaths were gruesome, they were still mostly 2D images for the most part, so they could get away with it. But yeah, now 3D models in this world, I can see why they silhouetted them. So I hate spelling that word so much. And now you got to use the hacking gun, unlimited amount of bullets to get a feel for the combat.
Makes no sense. Why is this happening?
Is this Ultra Instinct? How is he dodging them? And we see on the TV now the entire city has rioted, and it seems like the kids are orchestrating it. A bit weird. And we got the opening cutscene, and sort of with game 1, you know, there was something that led to despair and rioting in the world around. Everything was gone to pieces except in this city. It managed to hold off until now at the start of this game, where these kids have seemingly ordered these robotic bears to kill people.
Hurry! You gotta get out of here.
I'm sorry.
Girl, you have infinite ammo! Where are you going? Yeah, Komaru is just a normal person, not brave enough to do any of this as we rush to the Future Foundation's helicopter.
We're trying to help the world recover from the incident.
Wait, isn't that just
You know what I'm
Byakuya's
referring
voice
to?
actor? Anyway.
Incident?
It's behind your imprisonment. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history.
Yes, he said the line! Yes, you can tell the level of rioting the series has at some point. The big super evil event from the first game, which caused the entire world to stumble into despair and chaos. This is their name for it.
Biggest, most awful, most
You can see why people don't take the series seriously, right? And man, just look at this cutscene here. You got low textured models, even lower on the NPCs. Then you got 2D layers for the trees and such, and what the heck is going on in the sandpit? It's just this beautiful mishmash hidden underneath the amazing art style of the Danganronpa sprites. This is how it was in the other games, but you were in a confined space and the other characters were always sprites placed onto the environment like a diorama. But here they still keep that in mind with this weird mishmash of, okay, yeah, some parts can be 2D sprites as well, while the other parts it's like, okay, yeah, maybe the devs, they were just learning how to make a 3D game. But it still looks and feels like Danganronpa. And sounds like it.
most awful, most
But as we leave, Hey, wait a minute. When did he get his license? And we crash. And Kumaro gets captured again, waking up to some weirdo.
Are you okay? You look completely exhausted.
This is Nagito. I mean, Servant. New design? They really knew what the fandom wanted to do to this guy. Yes, he's from the second game, so it's like a pretty cool appearance for him, but don't worry. I'm sure we'll never see him again. He says things like,
was a bit too powerful. I made a few modifications for game balance purposes.
What are you talking about?
So he nerfs our gun and gives it back to us, saying it's our one defense against his masters, trying to sort of help us out in our goal. As now we only have break and move, and we use it to escape the room, as we then have to navigate through, and I love how this game has actual voice dialogue if you go the wrong way.
Looks like this isn't the right way.
This isn't just a one-off, and I guess the game, they realize new people do this genre, might get lost pretty easily. And we see the masterminds of our capture. Oh no, it's those kids!
Welcome, big sis. I'm so happy you came, meow.
Did she just f***ing meow? So yes, these are Warriors of Hope, who are the villains in the game, and you can press F to get an extended backstory.
My special subject was PE, so they called me PE. My favorite class was gym, so they called me PE.
Bro, you just said that! You have Daimon, the sports guy, Nagisa the nerd, Jataro the art guy.
Don't worry about Jataro. He's a latchkey kid.
What the hell is Latchkey? Oh, that makes sense. Kotoko the acting girl.
And hey, did you know? Kangaroos can jump backwards.
Hey, wait, kangaroos can't. And Monica the leader.
Monica is called Monica. Monica's called Monica. Monica's a mage and the Monica is of hope.
Ugh, do I really have to talk about them?
Oh god, this is always dead.
So yeah, like a short summary of it is that these kids were abused by their parents, and through stuff the story gets into, despise adults and want to make a paradise where only kids exist. So what happens when the kids grow up? And so that is why they're controlling the Monokumas to kill all
the adults in this town and make a paradise just
Hey, I was just saying that!
Awesome.
Hey, this doesn't make any sense!
It doesn't have to make any sense. That's all. If Monica wants it, it happens. That's how it is. Since our paradise is for children only, there won't be any more.
Dare you! I double dare you!
So yeah, these are our villains, and honestly, listening to them talk is just like...
a big lying fart face. See a fart face?
Laura!
Ta-da! Demon hunting!
Hey, wait a minute.
Monster Hunter.
And so they think Komaru is an adult, or almost one, and instead of killing her, want to hunt her down and tag her with this bracelet before shoving us back into the city for them to hunt. And Komaru, being the normal person, seeing this all is like... No. And so Komaru gets dropped down from the airship and lands onto the roof of the hospital, surrounded by Monokumas, scared for her life until she is saved by... Genocide Jack has come to save the day!
Oh no, there's more of them!
Yeah, she's an amusing serial killer.
I mean, it's not like this is sci-fi or something. It's borderline sci-fi at most.
And we have nothing to fear since she only kills cute guys!
Yes, madame.
What business do you have with me?
Jeez, stop saying stuff that makes no sense.
But we see Toko reappear, and so both of their thing is that they love Byakuya a lot.
Toko.
Maybe a bit too much. And he told her that she can join the Future Foundation if Toko can control her split personality to have it not kill anymore. And Toko does this with the stun gun. She also transforms when she's knocked unconscious or sneezes. Yes, it's a very original idea, I know. And Toko is amazing.
Ooh, let's go. Omaru Naegi.
Omaru?
So we get a feel of Jack's combat where you press C and it drains the battery as a user. You can mash the mouse clicks to attack and use the Fever Finisher combos, which are flashy, but as someone who speed ran this game, yeah, they can take quite a long time for the animation.
I have a split personality. That girl was Genocide Jack.
Okay?
You don't believe me, right? You think I'm just some filthy woman who's sick in the head. You're probably wondering how a stupid pig managed to learn how to talk, aren't you?
I don't think that's... Well, maybe the first bit?
And so begins the game with Toko, the self-proclaimed shut-in, whose ultimate talent is a writer with a serial killer split personality, and Komaru, the self-proclaimed most normal person around. Oh yeah, here are the save points because you don't get to save anywhere. You have to search around for a training body. Really, dude?
This is surprisingly relaxing.
Seriously?
So yeah, Toko apparently knows who we were, but is trying to save her master Byakuya, who apparently got captured. Komaru, however, just wants to escape the island of Towa City. As yeah, this place they're on, it's like a super high-tech island with a Towa group or a family-run business that kept making all these inventions to help humanity getting super rich.
Is this a hospital?
Dark and depressing. Just like me.
Yeah, right.
Right? Why didn't you deny it? That means you agree, don't you? Oh, just as I thought. Humans cannot be trusted.
Humans? You are having delusions.
I prefer to call it imagination.
So you have to wander through the hospital, try to find a way out, and you'll come across these exclamation points, which unfortunately, they are not voiced. Yeah, there's a lot of dialogue in this game, so I appreciate the stellar voice work, but I can't just help but wish that all these scenes were voiced. And you can also find these shiny bright orbs, which are extra bits of lore you can find explaining about Towa, what people were doing during the first day of despair. You can also find these books, which will give you an unvoiced cutscene of the two talking about the book, which will lead you to learning more about the characters. As Toko is a professional writer, she has a lot to say on how crappy every book out there is apart from her one. Yeah, I agree. Bro, just stick your head into the box, stop being scared! And through this hospital, you meet the Monokuma kids, where they're just normal kids but wearing these helmets. You see a lot of them as they are using the Monokumas to attack, but since they are kids, we can't really do anything to stop them. Yet some of them are weirdly helping us, giving us presents with ammo and such. So yeah, you can actually now shoot the Monokumas, and I do hate this every time, you know, when you aim, the cursor is always higher than where I'm looking. Like the default position is just a bit too high, so I always have to reorientate it after aiming. But man, the music is so creepy here. The composer is the same for all Danganronpa games and has been criticized for their music sounding samey when they do other games. But I still think this is their best work, because they really play into the horror aspect of the music here.
What is this place? Looks like a playground for those little brats.
So you got these puzzle rooms where you can shoot the move bullet onto these arcade machines to get a look at the room ahead. And you get a choice to use these bullets in the top right and solve the puzzle using only them to do one objective they give you. And if this is done correctly, you'll get more mono coins at the end of the chapter, which you can use to upgrade your gun or Jack's powers. However, you don't really need to. I mean, you could just ignore it and defeat all the Monokumas any way you want and move through. You'll just get less coins. You can also hit retry to start again from a checkpoint, but this lowers your overall chapter score, which is kind of annoying in that you feel, oh gee, I gotta get this right on my first go. To be fair, most of these puzzles are pretty easy, but they will require more thinking when you have to combine multiple bullets to use on many puzzle elements in the room later on. Here it's just a symbol of walking through to avoid them, but soon you'll have one where there's this bomb Monokuma that explodes after you knock them over, so if you shoot them when he's near the others, you can knock them all out in one go, completing your objective. So we eventually leave the hospital as Toko fantasizes about Byakuya, making her a member of Future Foundation.
Never leave my side. Protect me always.
Why are these always at full volume? No!
Oink! 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 What's with that face? It's like you're looking at a pig. Did I look that weird?
No, not at all. You didn't look disgustingly gross at all.
So they determined the best way to leave the island would be through the bridge and move that way. And you see the world isn't that open. The game will put roadblocks to lead you to your goal with these little detours if you want to find things like extra lore and so on. So we move through, and yeah, when you level up, you got these skill points you can then use on these ability book pickups you find, like the auto lock ability, or you can get more health. You get things later on such as better aiming, so it does help to look around the environment. Well, the bridge is on the other side of this hotel.
It would be rude not to, I guess.
Yellow paint telling me where to go? Oh man, this makes me so angry. These modern games and their hand-holding. This game came out in 2015. Man, they really were scared their visual novel audience wouldn't know what to do in the adventure game. Good on them for thinking about us. And we head through the deserted hotel with the two having amusing banter.
Seriously useless. more useless than a salmon that already laid its eggs.
Aww, you don't have to be so mean about it.
But man, just look at this place. You got the low textured room, nothing much going on here. And yet the walls, they are full drawn Monokuma stained glass windows and set dressing. The environments in this game, it really just half feel like someone's first attempt at using 3D software. To the other half being masterful creative decisions that honestly, I could just wander around aimlessly looking at all the work that went into this. We also find hunting cards, as in the kids are also hunting other adults, not just us. And yeah, if you played the first game, all these people have some relation to characters from said game. Kumaro wants to help them, but Toko says there's no point as it's a waste of time.
It is what it is.
So we almost exit, but these kids want us to play a game, solving this puzzle with a 4-digit code. What the bird sees upside down. Bro, I don't have time to waste solving.
This kid's riddle will be child's play.
Did you just make a pun?
Hey, isn't that the same sprite? And yep, the solution is the upside down of these numbers. And I love how seamlessly this game runs on PC. You can just type that answer on the numpad right away.
Go. Typity, type.
And so we escape and can get to the bridge, but just before we reach it, this guy comes up to us saying he wants to join up since he's also a hunted demon with a wristband like us. His name is Yuta Asahina. Wait, what does your jacket say? Dogs can go like 3 cups of rice.
$5, get out of here.
And the 3 head to the bridge to see it's blown up, meaning we have no way to get out.
Just go back to the city. This part of the bridge might be unstable as well.
Go back? You want us to actually go back there?
Yes, that's the only way. If you want to live, you can't always take the easy path. Sometimes you gotta take the painful ones. On that path, you might suffer and writhe in pain, but at least you'll survive.
And man, this is why I love Toko in this game. In Danganronpa 1, she's so standoffish to you, the player, only creepily having eyes for Byakuya and ignoring everyone else. But after, experiencing a killing game, she's changed a lot since then. Knowing that you gotta push through the pain and fear you will feel to survive, to live another day. Yuta's like, F that, I'm a swimmer, I'm gonna swim to the mainland and call for help. And he does so, but the bracelet beeps as he... Yeah, it kills you if you leave the island, making Kumara go into despair because she'll have no way to escape the place. I mean, even though she has a super gun, she still feels so weak that she's not strong enough to survive this ordeal. But Toko, once again, will help her overcome this.
You want to die right here? In this place? Not seeing your family or friends ever again? Are you really just gonna accept that?
The worst despair of all comes from having hope like that. Having such strong hope and just losing it in an instant. Like what we just saw.
So why don't you just overcome that despair as well? Although I doubt you're even willing to listen in your state. If that's the case, at least run. You're saying that you're going to die anyway, so you're at least prepared, right? If you think you're going to die, at least run away. If you're wrong, you live. If you were right, then at least you die on the run, and not just standing here suffering.
Wow, Toko! What other advice do you have for everyone?
Now that I think about it, I remember a sub... Huh? A sub...
So we head back to the hotel and find this kid randomly setting up shop where he takes mono coins to improve Jack's power, but you can also buy these bling bullets that you can attach to any ammo you have to increase 3 of these stats. EF determines how efficient the bullet is, NO determines the maximum amount of ammo you got on the bullet you can hold, and SH determines the shooting speed of the bullet. And you can use 2 blings and good pairings make it good or excellent. What the hell did I just read? It's just stat boosts on your guns and you can mix and match. You won't really notice it. Maybe increasing the ammo cap will help out because, oh yeah, you can find more ammo and hold it. As if you are full, it won't let you pick up any more ammo you find on the ground, which is very annoying as items are random drops. So you may be low on 1 bullet type, but the RNG can screw you over going, nah, you want this bullet instead.
I want you to have it.
I don't really want this.
Here now you get the dance bullet and you meet the Siren Monokuma where if you make it dance, it attracts the enemies to it so you can then shoot like a bomb one to make them all blow up. And you also meet random NPCs, but you can't really relate to them because... yeah, you don't really see the damage the world did to him, plus there's no voice acting here. It's like, I get why they did it, but I can't help but feel this game's whole objective was really to shock the player on the absolute horrors humanity can steer toward. But I don't know, seeing the blue man just say his legs are busted but then stand up like Jesus walked in front of him, I don't know, it's just kind of funny. So the subway might be another way out of the island, yet the shutter door is locked. Oh, look, we found the key. Oh, great, the kid stole the key. And so we're gonna go all the way back to the hospital to find it.
We have to go all the way back?
Ugh, this is so frustrating that my eyesight is getting better.
Frustration leads to improved vision?
Or we also find one more type of collectible, a kid's book about Saki.
I don't get it.
Now you also find these UFOs popping about and you can shoot them to point you on where to go because yes, I have to say it again, they were really worried their audience might get lost in this kind of game. And speaking of difficulty, I was playing on normal and yeah, you can pretty much just manage alone with Komaru. You really might be in trouble if you're low on the good type of ammo, or you get swarmed because you can't really insta-kill a bear unless you hit that super specific spot. So then Jack comes through for you, and I should mention you can also hold the mouse click to charge up the moves to different levels of combos, where the first one you can spin to throw some scissors, then you can breakdance with questionable voices, and the final one a super spin that's probably the best one to clear out a group of enemies. So then one of the upgrading, the best one you should do is to speed up the charge time for this or improve the battery efficiency. Also yeah, her voice lines bring some funny moments to the horror.
Check the website for more info.
Well, into the hospital and we enter this room and see...
Creepy like...
This is Junk Monokuma, which has the most health and oh god, put it out of its misery!
That kid went up to the second floor.
I can see that.
And yeah, man, this hospital is pretty weird. Like you have these hospital beds with leg straps, and then you have these big ass tables. You also hear about how Toa and how because of their inventions, they were saving humanity, so people actually worship the company, like how Sony and Xbox fanboys when they launch another console with no games. Okay, I lied, you know, you're the best console, don't cry. I'm sure you can use all that raw power to play. What the heck? Well, at least bro being tied down, you know, he got to watch his favorite TV show. And so the kid who took the key says to do another code puzzle. By the way, yes, these codes aren't random, so you could just look up a guide to find the number. But yeah, you're meant to use this new bullet detect to line up pictures to the code. And don't worry, even if you enter the wrong one, you still get some hints.
Stop making the same mistakes. Jeez, it's easier to train a goldfish.
Sorry.
So we get the key and head all the way back to the subway and find that it leads to...
Yeah, too bright.
Well, the first big boss fight against the PE kid.
That kid, he said wiener. Wiener! He just blurted out wieners like that.
So yeah, this boss battle is against a mech where you gotta dodge the attacks.
Monica.
And shoot the exposed weak point over and over again to win. Not that difficult, as we then see the kid die, question mark. And so we find another subway entrance and the chapter ends with our report card showing how many puzzles we completed without retrying, and we get given a rank, which will give us different versions of Toko's fantasy, and I hope you're not playing this on your speakers!
You did well. I guess you've earned some praise. For now.
Oh yeah, the hidden kids are like these sparkly things you find with Detect, like stickers of the villains scattered about the level. And to start the next chapter, we see the warriors praying after Daimon's death, very serious with the music and stuff.
If that's the case, then allow me to join you.
I feel much better now after a good cry. Okay, now let's get back to the game.
So yeah, Monica wants to continue the hunt, but Nagisa is suspicious. Like, wait, what if PE guy isn't dead? Also, hey, wait, were we meant to be making our paradise? Why are we wasting time playing this stupid game? But he cannot do anything to upset Monica, otherwise...
It's gonna be useless! Masaru is dead!
So we head into the subway and the game is like, hey, you cannot go that way because you didn't pay for the ticket fare. So we head further down and see Riot Shield Monokumas, and you cannot remove the shield until you get the knockback bullet later, so Jack is best to take care of them. But it's a dead end.
Ow!
What? What was that?
Something hit my head.
Maybe not your head, but something is messed up with your eye textures. So Toka gets conked and Jack comes out now with unlimited battery to help escape. And yeah, the best tactic is your movement where you dash spam with her. And Komaru, still despite having a super powerful gun, is so scared at all this and keeps thinking how she can't fight back against the Monokumas. But then the kids come in showing the art guy on TV who was like, I use dead bodies to make dioramas and some stuff.
So that means there's a limit.
Channel Marge.
And Kamaru is still sad that people are dying.
People are dying!
As we push past and find the exit to then see... Oh no! Well, we gotta find another way, and here we get the knockback bullets where we can get rid of the riot shields and push other bears away. So through the underground shopping mall.
Blood and the dark, and I'm just so tired, but there's no choice but to do it. I'm not some crybaby, whiny, airheaded girl.
Whiny crybaby?
And so through finding items, like here we can see how Toko felt she was able to change because she survived the first killing game. So yeah, you can kind of see why I wish these were voiced, but at least Toko has grown, yet Kamaru still seems too scared to do anything about the situation, despite having ways to stop the bears.
Amazing!
And to prove that she can help people, we find someone getting beat up by the Monokumas. So we save them, and it's...
Are you alright?
Oh, white guy.
I know, a Monokuma! But good and can talk? Toko, what do you think?
Discord.
So yeah, this bear has an AI for some reason that made it want to paint itself white and hide from the other bears. It only wants peace, and its voice is so adorable.
I have a good eye for judging character. For example, just by looking at your face, I can guess the time and date of your first kiss.
Oh, what a horrifying function. I mean, if you can tell that about the first kiss, then you should know other firsts, right? If he uses that power, he can mercilessly expose frauds who claim to be virgins. Huh? Girl power is mostly from virginity. This is why so many girls try so hard to be seen as virgins. But if we have this one's power, we can uncover the misdeeds of those fraudulent career women.
God, I love Toko so much. Well, I guess this fat-ass bear is coming with us. I mean, just listen to how it walks.
Oh, Maru, what are you doing? Hurry up and shoot this thing!
Don't shoot, they're souvenirs!
Toko seems really pissed off at this. How much budget did they have for this game?
Toko, that's too far!
So you can use Shurikuma to open these doors, while here you can see how finicky the puzzle arcades can be. Like I have to knock the bomb Monokuma to the shield, but this guy just survives, so I could retry to get the angle right, but it lowers my rank because I retried. So in my head I'm thinking, man, I love mint ice cream. But also, what's the point? Just continue on with the game. I'm sure getting it right gives you a better rank, but on your first playthrough, I can't really see people trying to redo this.
That's amazing. You think so?
Don't be so impressed by some talking bear. Get a hold of yourself.
I can't help it. It's not like I'm special or anything. I'm just a normal girl.
I'm getting really tired of hearing that.
And this is such a cool take on the sewer environment with the music, the grey walls on the sides. It feels so industrial, but then you got these blue pipes on top and purple water moving in this wavy 2D format. Like I said, they know how to make the diorama work for a 3D environment. And even though it doesn't look as dark as they are saying in-game,
it's dark and smelly. I wasn't talking about me. Would say something so cruel.
It feels dark with the atmosphere. So now is what I would say the hardest level of the entire game if you're not good at aiming, where Shurikuma goes to the other side and you have to protect them while they spin the walkway. As yeah, there are a few of these missions where you gotta save NPCs. And you gotta shoot the Monokumas, but also knock back the bomb ones to time and hit the riot and junk Monokumas. This time, I found it pretty easy, but it can be stressful if you miss your shots and waste your ammo here. However, you can equip the auto aim ability and it should make it easier. Oh yeah, these little capsule machines you can shoot with the move bullet, and they will one time give you either bullet ammo, health, or battery, and I usually found it refills the ammo you just lost, but not always. And so hidden lore here, where we find about how Shurikuma avoided the Monokumas. Trust me, you're gonna want to explore every part of this game as possible if you're loving all these little tidbits. Well, they take us to the human resistance, as yep, there were people hiding out here secretly from the kids, all who had their loved ones killed by the children, and so they kinda hate all kids. kids. I mean, most of them are also childless too. And this lady is the sister to one of my favorite characters from Danganronpa 1. And you can give her those hit list cards you picked up or some unvoiced dialogue talking about them. Usually Toko is just staring off because she knows the people that are related to those cards. Shirakuma then tells us about Hope's Peak Academy Elementary.
Hope's Peak Academy? Why would that name come up now?
What about it? Did something happen before?
Not just something. But forget about it for now. It's a very long story.
And even the game doesn't want to summarize it. So basically, Hope's Peak Academy was a place where all those talented ultimates went to, a prestigious school. Well, it turns out it also had an elementary school too, and those villains went to that one. And we meet the leader of the resistance,
Yo, Shirakuma.
Matt Mercer, who,
I'm getting a little hot from all this.
What the heck, Toko? What about Byakuya? Maybe we should swap to Jack to have her kill this guy. He's like, my arm, I got attacked, I'm a little baby, I can't do anything, we shouldn't fight back, let's just sit here and hide.
And that's why you're sitting here, moping and pitying yourself, right?
What the? You sure got harsh.
That nice girl act was just for your benefit. I got information now, using my womanly charm.
Huh? An act?
Of course. I belong to Master Byakuya only. There's no way I'd give my heart to some mole of a man hiding underground like a coward. Someone who just keeps making excuses and doesn't even try to fight back? You're worse than dead. Totally worthless.
Why are you being so cruel? Hey now, I'm sure Toko didn't mean it like that.
Oh, yes I did. Just looking at you frustrates me. You remind me of myself in the past. No matter how much pain or despair you feel, nothing will change if you keep denying it.
And I can't express how much I love this glow up Toko got in the writing here. And a big point as to why I love this game and what it means for a spin-off, it takes an existing character and gives them a full game to grow and improve upon. How many of those visual novel games you wish the characters got their own spin-offs? I know the Ace Attorney fandom can sure attest to that, with how bloated you see the main cast is after 6, and how everyone wants their favorite to take a leading role. Well, to help this, you know, the companies could release spin-offs featuring those characters. If you don't have time to put them in the main story, give them a spin-off. I mean, even Yakuza did it when they're pushing Kiryu aside. They gave him his own spin-off game. And you can have new gameplay to bring in new fans, and now a way to give them more character development, exactly like Toko has in this game. Because by the end, she easily rose to one of my favorite characters in the franchise. Komaru then tells Haiji that Toko is from the Future Foundation, and Haiji's reaction,
What the hell? No, damn it, I wasn't
as we get kicked out, but they do let us stay the night, so finally, nap time. So our plan is to use this device to call the Future Foundation, but we need to go high up to avoid the signal jamming, so there is this place called Toa Tower. Toko, however, seems weirdly hesitant to alert Future Foundation, but Komaru finally thinks this is a way to fight back and get some courage and wants to go so she can get saved. As we find another book,
Have some fun with Miku.
and leave through a graveyard where Komaru reveals,
I've had the ability to see ghosts ever since I was a kid.
see, you're not normal! And then just look at this symmetry juxtaposed with blue blood instead of the usual pink. It's so striking. And then you move on to the very colorful street with cardboard for the walls on the shops and displays, the water, the very hilarious PNG of the tower in the distance. Yet again, low budget and working with their know-how of the franchise. I love this area so much. The clash of colors, the vibes, the damn PNG! So you can knock the Monokumas off into the water, or they can kill you. And we see the kids enjoying themselves. And this room I still vividly remember in the speedrun strat. Sucked in, Komaru, you can't even phase through walls like I can!
Menacingly!
So at the base of the tower, we get jumped, but we can take them out with these environmental hazards like the electric car. I'm gonna sue Tesla. And after more oddities, we meet... Oh lordy, he huge! He can only be defeated if you make them dance so their arms are tucked in, and then you knock back to bowling ball them into the other enemies. Also, I should mention this game is kind of glitchy. No, wait, I've been mentioning that the whole time! But like the walls, the boundaries extend pretty far out, you know, the collision. Meaning a lot of the time, I found myself getting stuck on the walls while running. Like you think you can run here, but the collision just sticks out a bit too far, so you slow down. Well, we need a key card to go into the elevator to head up top, so we'll go up the stairs and find this nerd who can help us hack the elevator. Yay, we are saved!
I'm a chicken, Marge!
But while he's doing that, we get attacked and have to save him.
And when that happens, we're saved. We're finally saved.
Oh, that was such an obvious death flag.
Let's keep it up, man.
So it's the Beast Monokuma, faster and stronger, but yep, he dies. Man, they can't even model him dying properly. So the elevator takes us to the room where we fight the second boss, the Art Kid.
You kill people and laugh about it! Unforgivable!
And this fight has us using the knockback bullet, and they really love basing the boss battles on abilities you just learned. But don't worry, Toko will still help out.
Omaru, the top of the head!
Stop calling me Omaru! But yeah, you gotta knock back the bombs to then shoot the head, and you win. So that kid was wearing a mask because people told him he was ugly, and he takes it off and we see... But he gets beaten up and dies, question mark?
Serves him right.
What did you say?
So we reach the top and set up the radio to finally connect with Makoto, our brother, as the chapter ends! Why is this not skippable? So now I'll say the game will openly spoil Danganronpa 1. I mean, it was pretty hard to not avoid some spoilers. I was trying to be as vague as I could. But the game now blows it all out as Makoto will tell his sister what happened. So yeah, spoiler warning for that game. So basically, in Hope's Peak Academy, there was a killing game in that they were all set up to kill each other to escape, and it was broadcast to the world as a way to show despair to people. Like, hey, look, your brightest students are killing each other! Get despair, nerds! And this was set up by Junko Enoshima, the main villain in Danganronpa. So hearing her again, yes, somehow Junko has returned. But Makoto killed her in the first game, and now works with Future Foundation with the other survivors like Byakuya and Toko didn't want them to know that she ran off with Byakuya, but Makoto was like, nah, we knew. So it was kind of a weird plot point. She was worried, like, Toko, you don't have to be worried, they knew. But I can see Toko playing up the anxiety in her head thinking, oh god, what are they gonna think of me? And yes, Makoto is the ultimate hope. The series isn't trying to win any writing awards, okay? Where his hope helped defeat the despair. So he's special. And Komaru is like, wow, everyone except me is special.
Listening to you guys is... I just can't believe it's all real.
I get why you think this is all just fiction. Crazy kids are killing adults, you know?
Oh, sorry, I had something in my throat. And the reason Komaru was captured was because Junko wanted to use the family members of the people in the school as motivation to participate in the killing game. And after she was captured, she was kind of just forgotten about and just fed every day because since Junko died, no one thought about unlocking a door. And now despair is still in the world because Junko has become a martyr, and these remnants of despair are still trying to mess up the world in her name. Komaru then thinks the Foundation will save her, but Toko reveals no, they can't come in because Byakuya is taken hostage, and that if FF come in swarming in, the kids will kill him.
Future Foundation won't come save us? Then what am I supposed to do?
Didn't I already tell you? There's no other way. You have to fight against those kids. Get rid of them, and you can save yourself and Master.
That's impossible!
No, it isn't. You have Master's gun, and I'm with you too.
But I can't take this anymore. I just can't do it anymore. I'm not from Future Foundation or Hope's Peak. I'm just a normal girl who can't do anything!
Toko even threatens Makoto, saying if he comes, she will kill Komaru. That's just how dedicated she is to Byakuya. But the transmission dies, and...
Foundation cannot come to this town.
But
okay, Patrick, kill the lights.
What?
And we follow this kid's footprints to escape, and man, this place sucks on the speedrun. It's just so dang dark! Well, at least the Monokumas can't see us.
Anymore?
So we find the kid.
Wait, hold up!
And Toko gets a dream.
If you wash black clothes too many times, the color fades. But there's a way to combat this.
Write that down, write that down!
Well, we find a way out.
Ah! The light! The light! Are you okay?
No, I'm just happy.
And we climb down as it shows the kids, and I'm like, oh man, I just want to skip these sections.
I mean, if he did die, we should have... I was just, you know... It sounds like you're saying Monica is wrong. Huh?
Like I said, you're trying to say...
It's also amusing to see who her voice actress is for both of them. But yeah, these scenes are like, okay, we get it. It's very dark trauma.
Now's not the time for banter.
So yeah, Nagisa is very sus of everything Monica does, but he cannot disobey because she keeps crushing his feet. And they meet Kurokuma, who helps Monica with her plans and talks a lot. I wonder if I can slow it down. Anyway, back to the gang, where another puzzle using the light to find the numbers, where you still will get hints, and you also have this puzzle with the beast Monokuma, and the goal is to sneak past and find the singing kid to defeat them all in one go. And like, I'm sorry, is yellow not the correct answer?
Guess I have no choice. I'll forgive you.
Not! Take this! Take this! You
They totally know he's a fan favorite, right? So Komaru and Toko.
But what about me? Is it okay that I'm in danger? I'm just a regular girl.
Yap all you want. You can't change the facts.
So, you'd even kill your friends?
What? Friends? Did you think I'd feel differently if you started using the word friend? Don't even try it. I won't be fooled.
But that's horrible. I didn't mean it that way at all. I really do trust you.
As Komaru heads back with Toko quietly following. And I do mean quietly, as she stops helping the puzzles. No! And through this building you get some really cool wall detail showing the kids and Junko in some magical fairy tale setting. Seriously, so many times I've just caught admiring the level of detail in the backgrounds here. And now you got the paralyzed bullet, which will attack nearby Monokuma and hits them all if they're all standing in water.
Leap into my arms!
Jeez, this guy developed a taste for hugs fast.
Do it!
Yeah, I guess I can. I haven't taken a bath for a while, so I might be a little sticky.
Oh, how about you comb out your hair, take a bath, and change your clothes and undergarments first?
Well, they are back, and Shirakuma's like, just go see Haiji. I'm sure he's forgiven you. And it's funny because you can find more lore here, and I think I meant to have found it earlier because these two just talk normally now. But we learn that Komaru isn't normal because she listens to the top 40 pop songs and eats kangaroo meat. Hey, what? But yeah, because the girls are actually fighting, you can't show the cards to the smoker. So we walk in on the adults who are like, kill all the children, and Shirakuma wants us to persuade the kids instead. Toko gets mad at all the cowards, and Komaru is like, no, you're wrong, Toko. We are weaklings. We all think like this. You're super smart and talented. Us weaklings don't want to save the world. You wouldn't get it.
I don't understand what it's like to be weak. You think I'm chosen? What's so great about me, huh? I'm a walking inferiority complex. I don't have confidence. I never have. But what's going to change if I just keep saying that? Using that as an excuse every day? I learned that from the killing. I suffered for it, but I did something about it. So for you to say that I was just chosen, like I had nothing to do with it, I won't allow it.
But just then the Monokumas break in and start killing the adults. As yet, Nagisa found their hideout and sent them in. And we gotta save the adults, where I think you get more coins the more you save, which is pretty hard because they're so far apart. Shirakuma though does help out a bit. So we save them, but Haiji declares that we are spies for the kids. So they arrest us, separating the two in very dusty rooms. Remember the sneezing? But Komaru is saved by...
Tra-la-la! Why, hello!
I know!
Baby boomers!
And she kidnaps Komaru while Toko sneezes. Jack then breaks free looking for Komaru to help her find Byakuya, but she's nowhere to be seen. Yet some of the Monokuma kids help her on where to go. Which is strange, but surely she will save the day before... Oh no, not this!
Oh, great! There goes me revenue!
So this is the only minigame in the entire game, and the game forces you to play this incredibly uncomfortable sequence where you have to tap the hands away. And it's even more annoying because this just makes the game a very not good game to speedrun publicly. Ain't no way this is ever gonna be run at GDQ. Like even me just playing it right now, I'm like...
bother you, but I don't know.
I mean, I get what they're trying to do and show how these warrior kids see the world. But with how it's presented and how the content, it was meant to be tentacles. Huh? And why don't the other warriors get any minigames of their own? Why is it only here? This is easily the biggest reason a lot of people stop playing this game and why it's so hard to bring this game up because, as I've shown, it does so much good for the genre, for the franchise, for the characters, yet you have this scene. But okay, fine, I accept that's what they wanted. They wanted to put this in. It was their vision. Okay, let's try and move on. Where now we play as Jack on the train rushing to save Komaru, and then I just want this chapter to end. And we save Komaru as the train crashes into a building.
Komaru Naegi? More like Komaru Naegi.
Okay then. And yet in this building we get into a boss fight with Kotoko. I mean, couldn't we just have had Komaru trapped here and Jack comes in to save Komaru here? No?
I've been saved by Big Sis Junko anyway.
That name again? I'm sick of hearing that name!
Same here. Also amusing with how janky this game is, if you skip the dialogue, the camera still has to play out the cutscene till the next scene, so it's like... And we beat her mech, paralyzing the Monokumas in the water to stun it, but we save Kotoko from the kids to ask her where Byakuya is, but Nagisa comes in like, okay, I'll take off your bracelet, you're ruining my paradise, so I'll take you to the secret exit, leave, and never return, okay, that's what you want, right? And we finish the chapter. So Nagisa begs us to leave by drowning himself, but as he takes us we get ambushed by Monokuma hiding on the zebra crosswalk, because they're black and white. Okay, that is the best and stupidest thing ever. As yes, Monika has realized the betrayal and sends them after Nagisa. So we gotta protect the kid fighting them off. And we learn more about the Warriors of Hope with how the abuse from their parents, it was a lot. And so they were about to jump, but suddenly Junko appeared, kidnapped them, and they were much happier with her, causing despair. However,
Big Sis Junko
because...
died. Killed by some idiot.
So Monika told the kids not to worry, trust in her to make a paradise for all the children. And so just, you know, Junko wanted to cause despair in the world, that's a whole goal. And would do the most messed up things to help cause it. And now Monika wants to do that too. And so we almost reach the exit and Komaru's like, yeah, she wants to escape, she doesn't want to be a hero here.
Hey, Omaru? Sorry for getting you involved in all this.
Involved? What do you mean?
Nothing. Just leave before he changes his mind.
And so the exit is under the shrine and we can leave. However, Komaru's having second thoughts. She doesn't know if she should leave Toko all alone. Yet, who should appear?
Man, that was close. Truly a last-minute save.
As yep, his goal is to make sure Komaru stays and reaches the end. And he scares off Nagisa and says...
the one who disappointed me was Toko.
Huh?
Now perhaps I am mistaken, but I believe we made a promise. You were to escort her to headquarters.
Promise? Escort? What are you talking about?
So the plan was for Toko to lead Komaru to the headquarters of the warriors and then they would release Byakuya to her. That's why Toko knew where we were going to land at the start of the game and why she was so insistent on saving everyone. She was doing it for her own goal of saving Byakuya.
I went through considerable trouble making sure you would complete this little game. Why the path you must travel on to advance is always clear.
So that was you with the yellow paint? Yep, he was the one ordering some of the kids to help us out with ammo and stuff, guiding us to return to the headquarters, as he wanted Komaru to grow from this experience as her brother being Hope. And Nagito, he has a thing for hope, where he wants to see the brightest hope ever be born, and for that, he first needs despair. So he went along with the kids' plan to cause all this evil to let Toa City fall into despair, because he believes a bright hope will be born from this to save the day, as hope always wins in the end. So like, he's kinda good, but kinda crazy going about achieving that. And if Makoto's hope is big, and Nagito missed seeing the event that happened in Hope's Big Academy, the hope being born, he really wanted to see that, you know? So he goes, okay then, surely the sister would grow even bigger hope, which is why he wants her to stop the evil and continue the game.
Please, save this town from despair. Show me your dazzling light of hope to crush despair!
What do you mean? I'm hope? I don't understand what you mean at all.
Yeah, don't think too much on it, Kamaru. It's like light and darkness in Kingdom Hearts. You enjoy the game more if you stop thinking about that crazy overarching plot. Well, at least to me, it helps me. And so we confront Toko.
Well, you shouldn't have done that. Why would you believe in me? I have a split personality with a serial killer. I'm abnormal. All my life, nobody even tried to trust me. It's always been like that. That's why I've never had a problem lying to people. But regardless, why do you believe in someone like me?
Toko.
From the very start, I hated you. Just being with you was insufferable.
Lies. It's all lies.
I'm not lying. It's the truth. I tricked you from the start. You were a fool not to realize it. You're just a stupid idiot who got set up by the coward Toko Fukawa. Simple as that.
And with Nagito's pressure, she swaps to Jack to force us to stay by fighting. And it's so incredibly cool, the peak of their conflict. We gotta shoot Jack to stop her filling up her battery and just survive long enough. But she's so strong, and literally only you hiding around this shrine can help. And even then, you still get hit and...
Kamaru Naegi, it would be troublesome if you did not...
What the heck? Why would you make this a feature for the most emotional part of the whole game? Look, I could have passed the minigame, but after that, there was no need to put this in the most emotional scene in the whole game. It really is an odd design choice. It's like having your cake and eating it too. If you want a fan service game, you can go all out like Senran Kagura. There's no trauma there. It's just dumb stuff that suits that style of game. But if you want to show the horrors of humanity, okay, fine. I understand you got that forced minigame. It shows the horrors. Okay. It's a clumsy attempt, but okay. They attempted it. But I cannot think of a reason to have this in the most important scene of the game of the two characters fighting. The only time Kamaru's clothes rip. Be here. Like, okay, scissors are sharp. They do that. I get it.
Don't you know scissors are sharp?
It's a fact of life. But I think you're kind of harming the emotional beat you want the player to feel. And with how powerful Jack is, it's very unlikely you will know to go here on your first playthrough and dodge any of the attacks, so you're most likely gonna see this happen. And I've played this game many times, and even knowing the shrine trick, I still get hit through it, as if the game really wants you to see this. And yep, when you win, the clothes are back like nothing happened. Anyway, back to the serious story beats. We win, but Kamaru says that Toko was holding back.
If things stayed the same, you never would have made a move, would you? You always made me decide. You didn't do anything on your own.
So you wanted to give me a chance?
I was with you all this time, you know? I know you well, too. And also, listening to this crazy idiot's orders just makes my skin crawl. Hope. It sounds disgusting when you say it.
And to force her, Nagito makes Toko sneeze with pepper.
Shut the hell up, you lanky, wavy-haired bastard!
So even though they don't share memories, they share emotions, and Toko's emotions is telling Jack to kill Nagito and let Kamaru escape, which would also help save Byakuya. But Kamaru stops her, saying how Byakuya told her if Jack kills more people, he won't let Toko join him at Future Foundation.
But even so, you are important to me. You and I are friends now, no matter what happens. You're a precious friend and I won't let you do this!
You know, you're probably wasting your time. I mean, after all, she knows she needs to kill me.
I'll stay. If that's how it is. If I stay in the city and go with her, then it's fine, right?
That's right.
Hey! You know what the hell you're talking about? You were crying and whining about escaping earlier, remember?
No matter how much you say no, I will definitely stay with you, all right? I've decided.
Anybody can just say something. In that case, I'm a great detective, an astronaut, a reporter, and a Terra super beauty. And besides, you have absolutely no idea what I'm really like.
What do you mean?
There's no way I'd say no. Huh?
rather. Thanks.
Toko!
Friend? The last time I was called that was in a dream I had in grade school.
That's pretty depressing. Well, you're actually one of many friends that I have, so you don't have to take it that seriously.
You bring that up now?
And so Komaru finally gets the courage to make her own decisions and will help Toko save Byakuya. And Toko now has a friend and actually called Komaru by her name now, and not Omaru. Oh, I kind of like the Omaru nickname. And so we head back to the sewers, but this area beforehand, it's kind of pretty big, and you actually get given an optional treasure hunt where you have to open the right box to get it correct, but if you pick the wrong one, you give up the prize. And there's a secret area where you can get an XP boost ability, and then after that you head back on track to see that the Monokumas, well...
That Monokuma is flying?
Okay, we're getting pretty far from the whole bear concept here.
Where you get a flamethrower to help defeat them, and it was kind of annoying here because of the puzzles, but I had to use the paralyzed bullet on them in the water, but I ran out, as the game was being stingy, and it would give me other bullets instead. So there was actually no way I could have completed this puzzle properly, even if I retried from a checkpoint. So you can sort of see how janky this puzzle arcade system is. Well, we find the treasure.
Sad face!
And the reward is now you can run while aiming down sight, which is very helpful when you're swarmed. And this place keeps on giving as we find Toko's actual published novel that we can get some dialogue on that. Also, I didn't know this, but when you're Jack, Komaru will actually help out by shooting when you don't control her. And once again, another puzzle to find the singing kid, and yellow is still not the way to go. I guess that yellow paint lied earlier, huh? Well, we head into the blue building to find a way back to the sewers.
It doesn't feel real. Am I annoying, Komaru? The way I am now? Don't I annoy you? I couldn't be friends.
Well, how about this? Can I call you Toki?
Who the hell is that?
It'll be your nickname.
Oh, I've never been called by a nickname before. Well, other than insults.
Never? Not even as a kid? Well, I hope we get along together, Toki. What happened, Toki? Are you okay, Toki?
It's fine. I will withstand it. I will go through this horrible friendship ritual.
Man, Toko is so real here. And you get the link bullet, the final one, where you can now control the Monokumas, using their attacks to fight the others, but you mostly will just be using it to reposition them, like moving the bomb one here closer to the wall so you can blow it up. Also, the Monokumas now start to get smarter and will dodge your bullets like in Resident Evil with the zombies. Oh no, they're learning!
There's no way this ceiling is going to collapse. Right?
There's no way they'd use the same tired plot device twice. I won't allow it.
So we destroy a platform to create a ladder to climb down.
Wow, that's amazing.
You're awfully excited by all that destruction. You're actually a terrifying woman deep down.
And we come back to the remaining warriors where Monica reveals she's the one who told Nagito to make that deal. Kinda shocking Nagisa that she never cared about this kid's paradise. She was doing all this for her own motives and just strung him along, further manipulating him.
The very start.
Oh god, what is that sprite? So now we come up against more endgame spoilers as we head into the finale. But a little teensy deviation because I want to praise the voice acting in Ultra Despair Girls. So in games, I usually pick the English dub, especially in dialogue-heavy games like this, as it helps when you're reading text. You can just listen to the voice acting instead when your eyes get tired. And man, this game has probably my favorite voice characters across any game, consistently. Every single voice gave it their all. Well, funnily enough, except for Haiji. But man, Komaru's VA, they are known for other JRPG roles, but I still think this is their best work yet. From the timid Komaru at the start to seeing how confident she sounds later on. And then Toko, for someone who not that many roles. This is insane voice acting because they also voice Shirokuma. Yep, the same person. They sound nothing alike. That's so much talent. It's also amusing because Erin Fitzgerald voices Jack, but also Kurokuma, as they both did voice Junko in the first game because she has multiple voices. And man, they brought the A-list of Japanese dub game voice acting at the time for Ultra Despair Girls, and it's still crazy. The voice actors had to voice all these warriors saying all those lines. I wonder if they're not going to put these roles on their resumes. It's just so refreshing to have a game that you think they wouldn't take seriously. Oh no, they took this seriously. They gave it their all for these spin-off characters, and I just want to appreciate that here. Anyway, we head into the sewers and find that it's once again been overrun by Monokumas. Come on, man, can't these people do anything right? Turns out they were sneaking through the back, so Shirokuma says for us to blow them up to seal the hole, and it's so sad. See ya, you good bear! And it's kind of awkward to bring up now, but I just noticed they didn't blur the loading screen right. Yeah, so it's like when you blur an image, but part of it is sticking off the canvas. So when you blur, it only blurs what's available on the canvas. So after this, if you shrink that image to see the whole thing, anything that was off the canvas before the blur doesn't get blurred. So you see this harsh line. I know all this from making thumbnails because, yep, it's another thing on the jank meter. So Haiji goes, okay, fine, you weren't traitors. And Komaru now gets the courage to motivate everyone in the base, giving them a speech only a normal person could do.
I'm a normal human with no talent.
Oh, look, turns out Shirokuma is just fine. It's a floating head now. But yes, Komaru is fully changed, and I absolutely love this about the game. There's so much care, like I said. You know, when you shoot Toko, she will duck out of the way. And early on, Komaru's running animation is very timid, unsure, hunched up. But after this speech, she actually runs with more powerful strides. It's such an amazing attention to detail I love about this game. So Haiji is now more motivated, going, okay, come with me. I have my trump card to win. That will defeat everyone. As we follow him down to the secret Toa base. Oh yeah, he's like the son of the Toa CEO, I forgot to mention that. That's kind of why he was able to rally the people in the first place, because they worship the company. And while we are there...
taking us to a secluded spot to do stuff with us? If that's your plan, hurry up and get it over with. I won't resist.
No, that's not what I was thinking at all. Especially not with you. I like him younger. As young as possible.
I don't think any of us expected him to say that.
What is this game? And not just once, he brings it up again when we find some lore, and Komaru says this!
That's it, I'm out of here.
Anyway, we explore the base.
You planted grass?
Where the middle has lasers, and if it spots you, they will endlessly spawn Monokuma robots, and you gotta shoot the siren one on top to end it. And remember how I said the collision detection in this game was busted? Come on, I was hiding! Ah, no, not again! Well, at least I'm leveling up doing this. But yeah, it's weird as you go through the factory. It seems like Toa were the ones making the Monokuma robots. And I love how you see the sprites of him broken up through the factory. And yeah, more puzzles where even if you complete the goal, if you get spotted once, even somehow I fixed it, even though I got spotted, I destroyed them all in one go, the game goes, nah, they spotted you, and doesn't give you the full clear. So you can see why there's no real incentive to try and do these properly. Well, we need a code to shut down the lasers, but the guy died, and you gotta work out his daughter's birthday. And you can ask Haiji for hints, but if you're sick of puzzles, you can go, oi, just tell me the answer. And so we reach the final room, seeing that the trees are being turned into Monokumas. Also, Toro? Who's Toro? Oh, the PlayStation mascot? What do you mean, secret Toro room? Oh, okay. I don't get the reference, but at least, haha, Toko, now I can walk through walls.
That's not funny.
So now we find the trump card. Oh, lordy, he's huge! Yep, Big Bang Monokuma. Karaka, we gotta work on these names, man. Where it can only be piloted by Haiji and will destroy the Monokumas, although Haiji also wants to kill all the children too in revenge. But Nagisa comes in with his mech and it's the boss fight. Come on, man, I was hiding! And we win. Nagisa dying, question mark. So yeah, turns out Toa was making the Monokumas as maid robots to help humanity. Buddy, interesting design for a maid. He says that someone else designed them, not him. And now he uses the big Monokuma to break out and start fighting back against the bears, rallying the childless adults who now want to kill the kids in retaliation. Also, they did finish Komaru's sprite here, man. I love the jank. Where we return back to the headquarters crew.
By the way, before I leave, there's something I should tell you.
Oh, what? Is this it? You're finally gonna come out of the closet!
And Monica is still happy about this.
By any chance, is this plan related to the successor of Junko and Oshima?
No. Zip zip your mouth.
as she wants to be the successor to Junko, and somehow this plan will allow for that. So Haiji rallies the troops.
Out of it. Those two girls over there, neither kids nor adults.
Hi.
But he's not trying hard enough, and this guy doesn't look like he's into it.
Anymore!
Man, I'm really not into this. And through the cutscene with Japanese yelling, they forgot to dub it over. Man, I praise the voice acting, and then this happens. As we ourselves have to enter Toa Hills, the headquarters, to maybe destroy the Monokuma controlling device, as in if we can defeat the Monokumas, Haiji won't have a reason to keep killing. So in we go, and oh man, the music remix song! So we gotta go through the warriors' rooms, clearing harder puzzles, and you see stuff about them, like how the art guy used Faber-Castell? Copyright? Neymar? So we also learn Monica used the helmets to brainwash the kids. Yeah, none of these kids were abused or had trauma as much as the main villains. They were just brainwashed into doing all these things. So yeah, it's not really their fault. So it's imperative that we stop Haiji rampaging. But yeah, we are stopped by an eye reader where we need the CEO's eye to open it. And Haiji just appears going, oh yeah, my dad died on this floor. Just go and grab it. Okay, bye. Bye?
I was so shocked I really drew out that last word.
So we grab the eye and Komaru has to hold it up against the door. And remember how Komaru could speak to ghosts? Well!
See? I heard it again.
The CEO says how Haiji's sister is actually Monica, from the CEO's mistress, and that we have to stop her at any cost. While Toko goes,
The power of Christ compels you!
and this game is good. It is so good. So we enter the creepy hallways where we find, oh no, she's still here? Well, we have to save her, and we have to find the singing kid again. And oh, it's a purple ring, not yellow.
Even the worthy Homer sometimes nods.
She says that Monica wants to become the successor to Junko, and how Kotoko overheard Monica saying she never cared about the paradise.
Remember after I lost to you two? Remember how I hijacked?
She says Monica's on the roof, so we go there, but not before finding this torture room, where Haiji appears going, oh, this is where they killed our loved ones while they broadcasted to us. And we see the words Komaru and Makoto written in blood. Well, we find the throne room and you're meant to blow up the wall on the right, but you can also blow up the one on the left, and you actually get special dialogue if you do that extra room first. So up a ladder we see Monica's room, where she is obsessed with Junko, to put it lightly. So further along we find Byakuya's hidden away here, but we need the key from Monica, so up to the roof we go, where we find the airship. Remember, that's how we got launched off in the start of the game? And after fighting waves of enemies who shoot... oh man, not the cup ramen noodle sponsorship! Where we head back to where we were captured at the start to get more books and lore, and we just see how good these friends are now.
It's not just your memory. It's both our memories together.
What, it's voiced now? That's it? Oh, okay. And so final boss time, where Kurokuma is like, Monica is hiding in a bedroom. Pick which one? Well, she's on a wheelchair, so it has to be...
Damn it! I can't get these copyrighted songs out of my head. I'm bugging out.
Zoomers, am I right? So we tried the next door. Huh, does that mean she's on the top floor which you access with a ladder? As yep, she was faking being in a wheelchair to get more sympathy from people. She says that she was the one who invented the Monokuma maids, tricking her dad Toa to make them for Junko. Like they were always gonna be killer robots, duh. And here's the control for them, but we have to win it in a boss fight.
Watch out! It might be a nuclear warhead. Or was it nuclear?
Nuclear.
Where you're gonna shoot all the orbs, and also if you're about to die and at any point in the game this happens, you can actually have Toko save you, where you got this quick time event, and if you have some battery you get 2 circles, but if you have none you gotta time it on the blue one. So we win and get the controller to destroy the Monokumas, to break the helmets, and win! But something feels off. This feels very easy. As if you break the controller you get a bad ending which shows the world in chaos. So it kicks you back to this screen as now Kotoko comes in saying not to break it. Haiji then comes in saying everyone is watching this live on TV, so break it and end the adult suffering all that we faced. And Haiji makes Monika reveal all and how she made those Monokuma for Junko to help start despair in the world. All the robot Monokumas Junko was using were made by Monika at Toa. And Toa CEO looked the other way because Toa would make the weapons to fight the Monokumas as well. Like they were playing both sides of the conflict, profiteering from both of them. And Kotoko says how if you destroy the controller, the helmets will explode on the children. So when the Future Foundation comes in, they will see all the kids dead. I think the adults here did it and fight them, causing more despair. And that's what Monika wanted to create the successor to Junko. And she even tricked the warriors by telling them to jump earlier because it was...
Monika did a little prank to convince the war.
How crazy are you?
So Haiji is like, I don't care about the helmets, we suffered enough, man. Just kill them all and end it. And you have to listen to all of them fighting for your attention and constantly choosing the option to not break it to keep continuing. And she says the successor isn't her, but...
It's gonna be Miss Komaru Naegi. Paint the world with despair. And what could be more despair-inducing than having Makoto Naegi's sister be the successor?
So that was a plan all along, to help Komaru grow and come back here, having gained the courage and hope to now have the choice to break the helmet and save all the adults, or don't, and save the kids. Either way, one side will die, a lose-lose situation. And in turn, Monika was hoping Komaru would now fall into despair and become the next Junko. And to give more motivation, Monika shows a video saying that she killed Komaru's parents, with the writing being the proof, and this utterly breaks Komaru, where she now smashed the controller because there's no point anymore. But Toko saves the day the only way she knows how, and grabs the controller. However, Monika now shows she has the key to unlock Byakuya's prison and promises to trade for it. But Toko says, nah, I'm gonna save both Komaru and Byakuya, and demands the key. However, suddenly the big Monokuma is being controlled by something and crashes in, destroying the place and traps Monika. So outside, Toko knocks Komaru out of it and Komaru resolves to find a way to save both the adults and children, as we have to fight the big Monokuma, where its eye will change color to match our bullets, and we're going to shoot that one onto said eye while you're dodging all its attacks. And I never knew this, but when the big whack comes in, it looks impossible to dodge right. But what if you swap to Jack at the last moment? And I slowly defeat it with the final blow.
Yeah, me too! Hope lives on!
And it turns out Shirokuma was controlling the robot. Oh, okay. And heading back, we see Monika, and we get the key from her. As Haiji goes,
Yuko would hate me if I let it end like this!
Hope, despair, I don't care anymore.
And Monika feels despair that no one will save her, and the ship comes crashing down and explodes. As the two save Byakuya, and Komaru says she will stay in the city with Toko to find a way to save both sides. And in the epilogue, we see that Nagito had saved Monika, okay, saying that he will raise her to be an even bigger despair person than Junko, so that a bigger hope will be born. Come on, man, what are you talking about? And we see Byakuya showing Makoto a message from Komaru saying that she's gonna stay in the city.
Sorry, this video is getting pretty long.
As now someone wheels away the two bears who discuss how Monika's plan was never gonna work and that they were just doing this to mess with both sides. As it's revealed, they were controlled by someone from Danganronpa 2. And you see someone else from Danganronpa 2, and okay, I don't want to spoil it if I can afford to, okay? Just know it's big spoilers for that game, but it makes sense who it is. All I'll hint is that I did do a dedicated chapter in this video that talks something in relation to it. Please tell me that's a good enough hint for you.
What are you talking about?
But the game wraps up with the two staying in the city, Byakuya gets freed, and they stay back so that the Future Foundation don't come rushing in and mess up this precarious situation they got going, and Toko will stay back to support her friend. But it's not the end, as actually the story concluded in an anime of all things, where there's episodes focusing on these characters, but it's got new voices for them. I'm not going to be recapping that here, but I just want to at least mention one thing, and the hilarious thing about Monika, her ending, as being with Nagito. He was so weird about wanting her to be the next despair, she just grew bored of the whole thing and flies off in a personal spaceship to live out in space forever eating chips. Kodaka, what a man you truly are. And that ends Danganronpa Ultra Despair, girls. Did you feel the despair? So now that you beat the game, you unlock a light novel that was translated and put into this with music and visuals, a side story about one of the characters you find on the hit list, but I don't care about reading. And you can now use the leftover coins to buy some artworks, and you see that the warriors were all alive. But yes, that's the end. The story continues in Danganronpa 2, and as a spin-off, I think it did its job really well as a midpoint of 2 games. Almost perfectly. So Ultra Despair Girls is such a unique case where you have a game that's linking 2 older game storylines while expanding the scope and world of a visual novel game, being able to explore it but the same art style and music. I mean, seeing the diorama mock-ups of the original games, now you see them here with cardboard cutout buildings, 2D flowing water, yet mixed with the team's first attempt at a 3D game. With odd lighting and so many glitches, it's just hilarious in the game. You got phasing through walls, bodies moving about, weirdly sized tables. I mean, even the anime studio, they were jankily tracking Komaru's school logo onto her, but then you can see the care. Where the characters will duck out of the way of bullets, the amount of hidden details in the set design, to how they can create a creepy atmosphere alongside the music, which I have to say is the best in the series. Creepy at times, but then jamming at others. All this in a new gameplay style that mixes shooting with hack and slash. It's very basic, but it works for the story setting. It's just a shame you can't show off this game to people because there's so many uncomfortable moments with it. And sure, they wanted it to be gritty and dark and push the ratings boards, yet then you have pink and blue silhouettes that kind of lessen the impact, as in you got some really inconsistent design choices, including a baffling thing at the peak of the story's climax. And even then they knew that people would be new to this genre. They offered so many quality of life things, guides on where to go, guides on the puzzles, hints on when you're lost, and an easy mode to beat the game. I appreciate that level of care for the fans. But yes, I don't know how he did it. I love the interactions and seeing these 2 grow with each other. How he took a character that not many people liked from the first game and completely flipped her by having a change of perspective, having her grow and bounce off this other character with her own insecurities. It truly is one of the best 2 character pairing growths I have seen in a game, and it pushed the medium of the hybrid visual novel genre. New people could get into this game if they like adventure game, puzzle games, and think, oh okay, I want to see other games in this franchise. Sure, you would have got more out of it if you played the originals first, but it was an attempt and they did not hold back. They really didn't. But regardless, that is why I think this game is such a very interesting use case. I want other franchises to take more risks like this. Just take some characters you know and give them more screen time than the main game. Let them star in a spin-off with new gameplay systems to win over new fans to your franchise. I mean, visual novels' main aspect are their stories, so naturally, if they like the story in a spin-off game, they're gonna love the main story in the main story-focused game that excel even more in the story department. So I hope other games can take this as an inspiration on what to do and not to do when you want to grow your game franchise, because despite it all, there are a lot of good things about Danganronpa Ultra Despair Girls. And that's it for me. Thank you again for watching this all the way to the end. I appreciate a like and sub on the channel if you enjoyed it. And I have many other videos you might like on the channel, and you can also follow me on Twitter for updates and jokes. And until then, I shall see you all on the next video.